What's up, Internet Land? I just wanted to come and have a quick chat with you. Information we're probably going to dive a little deeper into for tomorrow night's episode. But listen, this needs to get out there right now. And quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of the fact that nobody's talking about this because it's a huge, huge issue. It's even bigger than I thought. I had no idea how many puzzle pieces are a part of all of this. So you really, really want to pay attention. Okay. I had in my mind this morning that there were three companies that preppers rely on that have been firebombed, that have been burned, have been mysteriously torched over the last 2 weeks. In my mind, it was first Atlas Shelters down in, I believe, Texas, I think. And I knew about Taylor Farms. We'll get to that in a second. And then 2 nights ago, here in Oregon, just a few miles up the road, the Azure Standard or the Azure Farms headquarters were burned. Now, I don't know that any of these have been officially ruled as arson yet, except for Atlas Shelters. I know that they have been, but I just want to I want you to check this out. Okay, so starting back on February 22nd, 7 injured in an explosive fire that engulfs food plant. Smoke visible for miles. That was out in Hermiston, Oregon. So another Oregon company. Plane crashes in Idaho potato and food processing plant, kills the pilot, cops say. That happened on April 13th. Um, 2 nights ago, Dufur, Oregon, the Azure fire happens. But there's more to it than that. Okay, a Walmart food distribution plant burned a few days ago. The Mountain View Community Church 50,000 pound food bank for Maricopa County burned just recently, just a few days ago. On April 1st, we have the Rio Fresh Onion Warehouse damaged by fire. Um, uh, Taylor Farms, don't forget about Taylor Farms. They're the big salad mix and produce. They've got a whole bunch of different things that they do. So a lot of the healthy food companies are being, it seems like, are being targeted. Also, a global grocery store logistics company. How many of you know that our grocery stores, even in this country, have outsourced their logistics, their customer service to overseas plants? So a massive grocery store logistics center had a massive fire in Taiwan on March 14th. Um, Meanwhile, all of this is happening. Union Pacific Railroad is throttling back shipments of fertilizer. So there's already a fertilizer shortage. And now you have Union Pacific not shipping what we actually have during the height of growing season. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge fan of giant corporate fertilizer companies. But then you add that onto 27 million chickens and turkeys and counting have been culled because of a sweeping bird flu that is going through our chicken houses. The major corporate chicken houses are getting smashed. Try to order chickens from McMurray Hatchery right now. They are all kinds of sideways. So many of their birds have been either put on quarantine or they've had to be culled. I can't get meat birds very readily for our church's meat tractor. So we may just go without doing meat birds this season. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some in the summer. Um, let's see. We've got um, major fire in New Hampshire over Conway beef. That would have been on April 12th. We've got fire erupts at meat processing facility in Lackawanna County and Cobb Meat County companies. Fire shuts down Hot Pockets plant in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Explosion causes fire at Oregon potato chip plant. That was the food distribution plant out in Hermiston, I believe. Memphis Department of Fire refers to a 3-alarm fire at the Kellogg's Company. Explosion and fire reported at the Cargill Nutrina feed mill. Guys, this is nuts. This is nuts. The list just keeps rocking and rolling. Okay. Cruise Battle Fire, oh, that was the Conway one. Guys, you need to pay attention. Our supply chains have already been absolutely decimated. We have got so many crazy stuff. The hyperinflation on fuel, shipping food right now is through the ceiling, which, by the way, we warned about on these channels almost a year ago, that you needed to start stocking up because we were going to see massive fuel inflation, that truckers were ordering their orders at 60 and 80% higher charges before the fuel prices even went up. Listen, I'm not trying to wear my aluminum foil hat, folks, but you need to understand your food sources are under attack. Okay. It's not too late. You need to be growing a garden, go buy seeds, get your stuff in a group. Okay. We screwed up this week and I ordered too much wheat. We were having a hard time getting our wheat shipment from Azure um, before they burned. Okay. They were having a hard time filling our wheat berry orders so that we can hand grind our own flour. I'm a professional communicator. Sorry. Um, so we had a back order with Azure for our hard white and our hard red wheat berries. So I went ahead and paid twice the price and ordered them from Walmart last week on our Prep Pastors podcast, or the week before. We didn't have an episode last week, but the week before. So then our Azure order got filled the morning after the headquarters burned. Okay, so we ended up with double our wheatberry order, and I was going to sell half of my wheatberry order to some friends and just try to recuperate the cost that I paid from Walmart. Um, Not anymore. We're keeping all of it. I'm gonna go buy more food grade buckets, and we're gonna package it all up. I've got Mylar bags coming from Amazon right now, so that we can package all this stuff up and do it in long-term storage, because I don't know what kind of food shortage this country is about to walk into. Okay, if it had been 2 or 3, I'd have been suspicious. I'd have been like, hey, listen, this is getting kind of weird. But y'all, I think we're hitting like 12. Wait, hold on. Let me do the math. Let me do the math. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Taiwan 8. Chickens. We can't even count chickens because multiple hatcheries are being affected. But I'll count it as one, and that's a gross underestimation. Okay. And then so that's 9. Um, and now we go to, hold tight. Uh, Conway beef and pork. And then we have, so that's 10. We got Nebraska JB's beef. That's 11. I didn't even say that one earlier. Um, Bonanza Meat Company building. They had a fire in El Paso. That's 11. I didn't say that one earlier. I'm reading the fine print on this report, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm missing some things. Large fire at a Tyson plant in Harrisville, Alabama. Didn't read that one before. Fire shuts down Hot Pocket plant. That we talked about that one. In Wisconsin River meats. That's 15. Um, Fire destroys Deli Star meat plant in St. Clair County. Explosion causes fire at Oregon potato chip plant. That's the Hermiston fire. I believe the $100,000 in damage is in San Antonio food processing plant. Memphis Fire Department responds to 3-alarm fire at Kellogg's plant and explosions. That's 20. I'm sorry, I misestimated. 20 major food distribution, production, or packaging plants. have been burned recently? Guys, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Your food bills are about to go through the ceiling, okay? Please, please, please stock up on non-perishable food items. Stock up on things that you can hold for a long time. Canned goods right now, a couple years to see this reset go through, okay? Before these things start getting offset. We don't know how much of the stock was actually destroyed, okay? Yeah, some of you might be like, oh, well, what's a few less potato chips in the world? Pastor Kirk, you don't even eat potato chips anymore. You're right. I don't eat potato chips anymore, but a lot of people do. Okay. I wish they wouldn't. I wish they wouldn't. I wish they'd get healthier, but you know what? They do, and that's the bottom line. That's a staple food item. You gonna have a Fourth of July barbecue this? Gonna buy some potato chips? Probably. Probably. Okay. So please, 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 we're looking at many, many, many staple food items like potatoes, like grain stuffs becoming a target right now, you guys. Oh, yeah. And then if you're just counting like companies that involve preppers, you want to pay attention to Atlas shelters also got burned. So please, please, please pay attention. Um, upwards of 20 in the last 2 months. Food processing, distribution, or supply plants have been burned. Okay, now Azure is at least still up and running for now. Their headquarters burned, their distribution plant is still up and running, and I think most of their data processing was out online. But they've already sent out letters to those of us who are customers saying, hey, look, we might have delays, we might have problems. Okay, so you guys, if you're not stockpiling food, you are messing up. And I know that I put this video out on wide. I put this on blast on all of my channels, not just the Prep Pastor podcast channel, because I want to get as many people that I know, that I believe in, that are a part of who I am, my life. You guys need to start paying attention to this. If you don't think that we are absolutely under attack, and I'm not saying, you know, that the large large nation over on the other side of the planet is involved in this. I'm not saying that. I'm not putting on my tinfoil hat. I'm just saying it's not a coincidence that 20 food companies have been attacked recently. And some of you are going to come back and be like, well, you don't know that they've actually been attacked, Kirk. You don't know that it's actually been an attack. Listen, you people want to call me a conspiracy theorist. I'm going to call you guys a coincidence theorists. Listen, you guys who want to lean on coincidence and be like, oh, it's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence that 20 food companies have been firebombed in the last. Come on now. Come on now. Pay attention. Pay attention. Go to the grocery store. Get online. Start buying food. Start buying food. Prices are already going up. Amazon announced a 5% increase across the board. Walmart's announced a price increase across the board. I paid exactly double for 100 pounds of wheat berries from Walmart than I did from Azure. Okay? Pay attention. If you've got animals, go get their feed. A few of those places on the list were feed plants. Okay? Pay attention. Pay attention. Get out there and get the stuff. And listen, folks, if you're a Jesus follower, this is called the Prepped Pastors Podcast. If you're a Jesus follower, if you can, we are called to have enough that we can be generous during hard times. You know, our grandparents didn't call this prepping, okay? They called it putting up for hard times. Well, guess what, folks? Hard times be on the way. We don't know whether we're about to walk into World War III or not. I think we've got a pretty crazy, corrupt administration that keeps poking a nuclear armed bear. I don't know how we don't end up in World War III. I'm praying that we don't, but we could. And if we do, food scarcity is going to be a thing. All right. So please, 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 even if that's the only reason you get involved, get yourself some food grade buckets. Start putting food away. You need, what's the worst that happens? You put a few $100s worth of food away and you get to eat it in a few months for cheaper than you could buy it. That's the worst thing that could happen. Listen, you thinking about going on vacation this summer? You're thinking about doing some travel? I think you should seriously pray about whether or not God is calling you to maybe put that plan on hold and put some food up. Spend that, you might want to spend that vacation budget on socking away some food. Because you look at 20 food distribution, supply, and production plants burning in the last 2 months, and nobody's talking about this. If those of you who are super committed to your brand of news station, can you please, please, please just admit that whatever brand of news station that you're talking about, nobody's talking about these 20 businesses that have burned in the last 2 months. I don't care whether you're Fox News, whether you're Breaking Points, whether you're CNN, whether you're MSNBC, USSR, whatever, okay? Please, please, you guys, nobody's talking about this for a reason. And I know it looks like I got my aluminum foil hat on, but you guys need to pay attention. This is important stuff. I love you. Pastor Kirk's out.